Welcome back to What If Vegeta and Nappa Went to Oozari, Part 4, I think we're on? And a special shout out to Detroit Mari, for no special reason other than they asked if I could give them a shout out. So, Detroit Mari, there's your shout out. So as we last left off, they had all basically, the Z Fighters had all been able to defeat the two previous androids that had shown up. Piccolo, particularly, just because the Piccolo we have here, while not as strong as his canon counterpart, knows Kaioken, having spent a large amount of time with King Kai as they were all dead. Goku had contracted his heart virus, but has recovered. Vegeta has actually become a Super Saiyan and returned to, take individuals on, and he tried to take on the androids, but was ultimately defeated by them. So, and we last left off on Cell, I believe encountering one of the Z fighters, but realized that getting away and absorbing 18 and 17 to create his perfect cell. Now, we start there. The moment he basically becomes perfect cell, everyone, Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, everyone senses what just happened, because his perfect cell's power was astronomical for a character at that time. And no one, I think we put Goku's power, perfect cell's base power somewhere in, say, and this is the estimate, generally speaking, that most fans give it, and it's kind of where I've also kind of fit the parameters. It's around 2 billion. His full power is like 3 billion, and it's like 4 billion when he regenerates again when he blows up. But it's around 2 billion. The strongest individual we have right now would theoretically be Goku, who can go about, who has like a power level right now of about 10 million, and can go about Kaioken times 20, give or take, at best. So, it's a little difficult to put them one way, or actually no, I think, did I put Goku there? No, I think I put him maybe a little stronger. I think I put him like at 15, something like that. I put him generally in that area after his Zenkai boost for the heart virus, because he nearly died. Vegeta's also a little stronger. Now, I put Vegeta roughly around Goku at Namek level, around 150 million. So it puts his base around 3 million. After getting the crap kicked out of him by the androids and, getting a Zenkai boost from that, he's probably more in the 200 million, maybe 250. I'll go 200, though, for simple numbers. But even then, Frieza, everyone's just, and, Cell being able to, sense power levels to a degree also, senses where they're at, and, actually, Cell can do that, because that's how he found Piccolo in 17. Goes to find them, and, he's, I could kill you now, and they'll have a brief skirmish, and maybe even Goku pushes his Kaioken beyond his limits. Maybe he actually pushes it to, 30 or something. Kaioken times 30! And then, you get a cool little Kaioken moment there, and I mean, if he's at 15 million, which we'll put him there, that means he'd be going to 450, which, admittedly, if Goku just charged in real quickly like that with Cell, he might get, a nice glancing blowout on him. Just Cell be like, ugh! But his eyes, he wouldn't even blink. He'd be like, shing, and then, boom, backhands Goku's like, oh, this is not, this I would want a challenge. And then Cell's like, yes, that's it. I know what I'll do. I'll give you all a week. Give you all 1 week to increase your power. And then basically does the version of the Cell Guns. Everyone is now just, oh god, we just got the shit kicked out of us. It's like, we need to do something, and do something fast. So we need the training, and this is where the Hyperbolic Time Chamber comes in. Now, they'll have, and I know it's a little bit over a week. I think he gave it 9 days or something like that. He gave him how did Goku put it? We'll have 3 days to train, 3 days to rest, 3 days to train, and 3 days to rest. So it was 9 days, give or take. So for the sake of that, we'll do that. And they all know that they need training. So I do imagine it'd still be Goku, and Trunks would show back up and get his ass kicked. So it would be Goku and Gohan going into the Hyperbolic Time Chamber again. Vegeta and Trunks. And I think Piccolo and... I think Goku might go in a second. Goku might go in a second time. Because they need all the help they can get. So in that, but beforehand, Goku would make the variants what is this form? And Vegeta would explain the legend of the Super Saiyan, all that. So he explains it to him what happened, and Goku and Gohan use that. Now, both these guys do have the potential to become Super Saiyan. We know that for a fact. Do we reach a scenario where, because of the training requirement, the atmosphere, emotions, all that, that they're able to do that? Over a year in training in those kind of conditions, I would say, and knowing that Super Saiyan exists and all that, I would say like maybe at the halfway mark in the year they would. Gohan, by the way, is somewhere in the neighborhood of like I think 5 million is where I put him at, and he can do like a Kaioken times 10 at this point. So now they train and they reach Super Saiyan. Now, granted, you're not going to get like the perfected Super Saiyan form that you got in the original arc. You're not even probably going to get an Ascended Saiyan form. You're probably just going to get them training. I take that back. You might get an Ascended Saiyan form just because they still have 6 months to practice with these new forms. Granted, now that I think on that, we never know if Gohan was capable of going to like Ascended Saiyan, Ultra Saiyan, all that. We know that Goku could, and that when he showed it to Gohan, he was impressed. So we know Gohan couldn't do that. So I don't think Gohan ever bothered to learn those forms because, him and Goku trained to perfect their Super Saiyan form. But again, I don't think we're going to get a perfected Super Saiyan form. So I don't think we'll get that. I think at best we might get Goku of anyone like pushing the Ultra Saiyan form. I think, or the Ascended form. So when all is said and done, they'll come out of the hyperbolic time chamber and they'll reveal that be able to turn Super Saiyan. Now it's not going to be when they walk out their Super Saiyan. They'll be like, and they'll power up. Now power level wise, and again, I'm going off the top of my head because I didn't write this down this time around. Power level wise, Gohan's probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of I'll go with a solid 30 million. I'd say is a solid enough number for him. And Goku, I think, would be pushing the 40 million mark. I think that's both very reasonable. Then Vegeta and Trunks go in. Now, Trunks, I'm going to assume, can still improve his power and all that, because even though the Trunks we have here is cybernetic android and whatnot, or cyborg anyway. But we've seen that Android A17 was able to improve and get stronger, so it makes sense that Trunks could do that too. And they'll train. And granted, they'll train because I'd actually say Trunks would probably go in with Piccolo rather than Vegeta. I think Vegeta would probably go in alone. So I'm gonna retract my statement and say it's gonna be Trunks and Piccolo as opposed to Vegeta and Trunks because they have no reason to go in together. So Vegeta will go in, and Vegeta will certainly get stronger. He's probably sitting around 4 million. I would say that I do think the difference here is that Vegeta, I think, definitely achieves Ascended Saiyan because this is a Vegeta who still has Super Saiyan. There's nothing, besides the fact he's weaker than his canon counterpart, there's nothing truly different about Vegeta in terms of his abilities that he has. So Vegeta would still probably get Ascended Saiyan. He'd probably, I don't know, actually, he's still weaker than his canon counterpart, so he wouldn't be as strong as he was against Cell, which, roughly speaking, he was probably, let's see, 100. I'm doing the math real quick. If he ascended, he was probably like around 1.5, which is why he was able to just curb stomp Cell. And so he'd be at 1 billion. So he was probably around 20 million at that point, I'd say. 20 million, I think, is a solid number that he probably was at. Which means this Vegeta I'm going to put somewhere in the neighborhood around 15 million. Not quite his canon counterpart levels, but still pretty strong. Which means if he powers up the Super Saiyan, his power is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of... wow. Maybe... No, hold on. Did I get that right? No, yeah, I got that right. I'm thinking different numbers off the top of my head. So he'd be around 750 million. Powers up, we'll just assume he powers up to like 1 billion in terms of his power. It's like, wait till they get a load of me. And then Trunks and Piccolo will go in respectively. I said Trunks and Piccolo. And maybe Trunks honestly would pick up the Kaioken technique from Piccolo, because he's a cyborg, his body's more like inclined to handle that. I mean, it's possible Piccolo could show him those techniques, and they'll get some very solid training in, which I think would bring Piccolo somewhere near Goku's level. Like because they were both relatively similar in strength, so I would round Piccolo up to around 40 million as well. Trunks is around his Super Saiyan form from the original series in terms of power. And if we decide to give him Kaioken, I'm not going to give him anything like above maybe a 10. But because he's got like a cyborg body which has like just enhanced durability, all that, he's more capable of handling this kind of power with a greater ease, just because his body is just naturally more durable thanks to enhancements. So I would put him maybe at about 3. I'd put him at 250 million. We'll say. So when it's all said and done, they're all going to get done with their training. They might go in for a second time. I don't know. I think Piccolo and them would be Piccolo and Goku might. Piccolo and Goku definitely might. And I think they would train with each other again. And if they're both equal, around 40 million, Goku powering up to Super Saiyan altogether would be about 2 billion. Piccolo being able only pretty much use and I think we've established you could use a higher level of Kaioken, being Namekian and probably having a slightly greater durability. Could probably bump us up to about 30 at this point. And we know Goku can, in this scenario now, kind of do that, but he can't. He knows he can't combine it with Kaioken. And by the way, that will be a what if Goku could combine Kaioken with Super Saiyan. That will be a complete, because now we're talking about weird OP scenarios here. So yeah, they'll be training for a while. Piccolo can probably do a 30, which means he can crank himself up power wise to about 1.2 billion, which is not Goku's level by damn, but it'd still be enough to really push him. They'll push each other. I think they'd push each other to about an extra 10 million. So they'd be about, Goku would now, roughly speaking, be about his canon level power level, around somewhere in the neighborhood of 2.5 billion to 2.7, something in that area. Piccolo likewise would be relatively powerful, but not Goku's level. Though I imagine he would probably be able to not use a higher Kaioken than 30 at the moment, but probably be able to maintain a level 30 Kaioken for a greater time. So now we cut to the Cell games. And I'm certain everyone else will train. And then Hercule Satan. Now, Cell, you better see that. And then he just gets his ass kicked and goes on. Now, I think Vegeta would want to go first. Remember, Vegeta hasn't. I mean, they all fought Cell a little bit, and they all got their ass kicked. Vegeta wants to finish himself first. Like, so will you be first, Goku? Again, it's like, no, Kakarot won't go first. I, Vegeta, will show you the true power of Saiyan Elite. And then Vegeta goes and powers up, and just boom, powers up. Well, you've certainly gotten a bit stronger, Vegeta, but I don't really see. And then he goes, and then he's roughly speaking, probably in the 1 billion. Well, you might even go a little strong, because I know Vegeta would probably go in for a second time. So we'll round him up. Well, actually, we'll round him up to his overall power after he got out of the Hyperbolic Time Chamber the first time around. After that, he's probably kind of maxed out a little bit. I mean, he could still get stronger, but just wouldn't be anything severe. So, and then that fight's going to go pretty much the same way it did in the anime or in the actual canon. However, Vegeta's gonna try to final flash, like he's gonna blow up the ring, and then Cell be like, no comment, and then, or he would even counter with his own final flashes. Boom, final flash, and they counteract each other, and he even beats out Vegeta, and his power is much greater than Vegeta's by a good margin. So I don't think he fully kills Vegeta, but he puts him on death's door, which luckily Vegeta will get a nice healthy Zenkai boost. They got a Senzu bean waiting for him, all that. It's like, here you go, Vegeta. It's like, sounds like, I didn't even sweat that. So now, what else shall we do? Oh, who's going to be that? Oh, will it be you, Piccolo? And then maybe Piccolo, sensing how strong Vegeta was, knows that he's roughly on par. Decides to maybe give a go ahead and just like, I'll wear him down a little bit, Goku. This is not a guy we can afford to be messing with. So Piccolo going, already maxing out his Kaioken. And they'll go at it for a little bit. It's going to be roughly the same. Piccolo will probably do a last percent and probably maybe just push it to the max a little bit further. Times 35 or whatever. I don't know. We'll say 40 times 40. And then, his body's just convulsing, but he's holding on there for dear life. And he's already fused with Kami at this point. So holding on for dear life. Actually, did I figure that into the equation? I think I figured that into the equation. Wow, I completely forgot I figured that into the equation. So actually, that would mean that Piccolo's probably more around the lines of a 100 million in terms of his power level. So I have to take that back. So if we're doing about a times 30 power level with which he's able to do at 100 million for his power level, because I honestly forgot. I know I had him and Kami merged together. Plus his Kaioken, yeah, he's actually about as strong as Cell's maximum power. So I need to take that back. So let's redo it. I was like, let's roll it back. Let's roll it way back. So restarting that fight, Piccolo comes in, powers up, and he's probably still somewhere in the neighborhood of around 100 million, though. We'll give him that. He's stronger than Goku's base at this point. So he powers up. He's already got a Kaioken going on, like a Titan Size 10, just to test the water. Cell just come now, Piccolo. We both know you've got more than that. Let's see what you really have. And then he goes Kaioken times 2 or times 20, and now he's relatively on par with Cell. Now they're duking out. It's pretty much like that fight, the early stages of the fight with Goku and Cell. So then it's like enough running, and then Piccolo just powers up his Kaioken to the max. And just, and they're just boom, 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 just back and forth, back and forth. Piccolo multiforms just like Cell does. They both got special beam cannons. Just boo, do an after image with Piccolo, fires it, boom, blasts the hole through Cell, but Cell can regenerate. So it's going to be a lot of back and forth. They're just going to, it's like, say goodbye, times 40. And then Cell hears that, like, what? Special beam cannon! And then you get basically 4 billion times Piccolo just boom blasting Cell's head off. Cell luckily does the same thing he did with Goku, and they're just boom. But they're both tired as hell. Piccolo just and then just smacks Piccolo away. Now Goku goes in. Cell's now tired. Cell's taking a bit of beating. Goku would want a fair fight, but at the same time, hindsight's 2020. It's like, I want to find him at his best. Like, Goku, don't you be an idiot. I didn't wear a dowry just so you could make him healthy again. And then Piccolo's like, and Goku's just like, fine. You see, when someone's telling Goku off, Goku will generally listen to a certain degree. And in this case, hindsight's 2020. They realize just how powerful Cell is. I think Goku in this scenario might just say, all right, fine, I'll bite the bullet and not, play dirty, or not play fair. I'll take the advantage of him. So, Goku powers up to full power, which is around 50 million, Super Saiyan, about 2.5 billion. Cell's probably now weakened to about the same. So now they're duking it out, but Goku's still fresh, whereas Cell's a little winded. And Goku, I think, eventually pulls out the win, but it's a tough match, and there's the risk that Cell does pull out the self-destruct bomb, the bomb inside him. But I do think Goku pulls out a win. Now, granted, it wouldn't be a instant Kamehameha, or the Warp Kamehameha, as it's called. So I don't think that happens, but I do think it's one of those, maybe Cell does a Kamehameha and Goku then, counters with his own Kamehameha to, and then something happens and then Goku blasts him away eventually, kind of like Gohan did. So I think I would say yes, they'll come out on top. It'll be a tough go, especially because Goku doesn't know instant transmission in this scenario. So with the fighters were defeated and all that blah blah blah, the day is saved. Vegeta pouts like a little whitey bitch and goes away back into space. Trunks disappears. Yamcha and Bulma are still happy. They got their kid. And Goku's around for the 7-year time skip. So we're going to end it there and move into the Buu Saga in part 5. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I use who to win, Star Wars Super Magic. What if anything I do in the channel? Put that in the comments below. I'll get to it at some point. And that's going to be it for this evening. I will pre-record my Who Would Win for tomorrow just because work and all that stuff. And then I'm going to do my Who Wins on Tuesday for the next coming days afterwards. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. This week will be Maze Runner to Death Cure. I've seen the other two. I liked the second one. First one was good up until the last 15 minutes, I thought. So here's hoping this one's at least tolerable. Anyway, thanks for watching.